The year is 218 BCE. Rome, the rising power of the Mediterranean, believes its legions are unstoppable. But a general from Carthage has other plans. He does not attack Rome directly, he marches through the Alps with elephants. And in that moment, the world begins to shift. On this channel we explore the moments in history where decisions, discipline, and systems shaped entire civilizations. We look beyond battles and dates, into the forces that made them inevitable. This is not just the story of Hannibal Barca and his audacious march. It is the story of how Rome nearly failed, how a single, calculated decision could have shattered the Mediterranean order, and how the lessons of logistics, patience, and resilience decided who would survive. To understand Hannibal's campaign, we must first understand the world he entered. Rome was no ordinary city-state. By 218 BCE, it had already conquered much of Italy. Its armies were disciplined, its citizens loyal, and its political machinery relentless. Yet Rome was not invincible. It had enemies on multiple fronts, and Carthage, a commercial powerhouse in North Africa, remained its most persistent rival. Carthage had lost the First Punic War decades earlier. Sicily, a valuable prize, had slipped from its grasp. The defeat had humbled Carthage, but it had not broken it. Hannibal's father, Hannibal Barca, had instilled in him a vision. Rome must be challenged, not with reckless raids but with strategy that exploited Rome's strengths against it. This was a war of systems, not just soldiers. Rome relied on supply lines, citizen armies, and a network of alliances across Italy. Carthage relied on mercenaries, terrain knowledge, and the ability to move unpredictably. The stage was set, and Hannibal was about to rewrite the rules. The moment that changed everything was not a battle, but a decision to cross the Alps. It seems simple in hindsight, almost heroic, but in reality it was almost suicidal. The Alps were steep, snow-covered, and full of tribes who were hostile to outsiders. Carthaginian elephants, impressive as they were, could not climb cliffs. Hannibal's decision was not born of impulse. It was a calculated risk. He had studied maps, gathered intelligence, and prepared contingencies. He knew the journey could cost him half his army, yet the alternative, sailing around Italy, would allow Rome to consolidate and reinforce its positions. He chose the Alps, and in doing so, he forced Rome to confront a problem it had never anticipated, an enemy appearing where it was least expected. The march through the mountains tested discipline at every step. Hannibal's army faced avalanches, starvation, and disease. Mercenaries mutinied. Elephants slipped and died. Every day demanded strict order. Every decision carried catastrophic consequences, yet Hannibal did not falter. He rationed food. He adjusted routes. He maintained cohesion in an army that was multinational, diverse, and weary. Leadership was not a matter of charisma. It was a system of control and foresight. Meanwhile, Rome was reacting. Its generals expected a naval invasion, not a mountain crossing. They deployed forces slowly, making critical assumptions that would later cost them dearly. Hannibal's restraint and discipline contrasted sharply with Rome's rigidity. This imbalance was the true leverage in the campaign. By the time Hannibal descended into the Po Valley, his army was battered but still functional. He did not march directly to Rome. Instead, he secured alliances with local tribes, destabilized Roman territories, and won decisive battles at Trebia and Lake Trasimene. His victories were not just the product of courage, but logistics and timing. Hannibal knew Rome would eventually regroup. His goal was to make the cost of victory so high that the Roman system itself would strain under pressure. Rome, for the first time, felt the weight of real vulnerability. Its citizens feared invasion, its allies reconsidered loyalty, and yet, the Roman system, its ability to replace armies, levy new soldiers, and absorb shocks remained intact. Hannibal had not defeated Rome outright, but he had forced it to evolve, to adapt, and to recognize that discipline and strategic planning mattered more than brute strength alone. The Second Punic War shaped the future of the Mediterranean. Hannibal's campaign exposed Rome's weaknesses and tested its resilience. In response, Rome reorganized its military, improved logistics, and developed strategies for long-term attrition rather than decisive battles. The republic that emerged was not the same as before. It was stronger, smarter, and far more adaptable. Hannibal, despite never capturing Rome, became a benchmark in military history, not as a reckless hero, but as a general who understood that wars are systems, not moments. He demonstrated that even a great power has vulnerabilities. And the Romans never forgot. Every campaign after the Punic Wars carried lessons learned from Hannibal, the importance of preparation, discipline, and strategic patience. The ripple effects reached far beyond the battlefield. Rome's eventual dominance of the Mediterranean was built on lessons learned from near defeat. Hannibal's audacity forced an empire to confront its own limits, and in doing so, created the conditions for centuries of stability and expansion. Hannibal's story is a reminder that history is not shaped by chance or heroism alone. It is shaped by careful decisions, disciplined execution, and the courage to embrace risk with strategy. He almost broke Rome, and in almost breaking it, he changed it forever. If you want to see more stories where one decision reshaped entire civilizations, tell us which era or figure we should explore next. Subscribe and join us as we uncover the moments that defined the course of history. And the Romans never forgot. Every campaign after the Punic Wars carried lessons learned from Hannibal: the importance of preparation, discipline, and strategic patience. The ripple effects reached far beyond the battlefield. Rome's eventual dominance of the Mediterranean was built on lessons learned from near defeat. Hannibal's audacity forced an empire to confront its own limits, and in doing so, created the conditions for centuries of stability and expansion. Hannibal's story is a reminder that history is not shaped by chance or heroism alone. It is shaped by careful decisions, disciplined execution, and the courage to embrace risk with strategy. He almost broke Rome, and in almost breaking it, he changed it forever. If you want to see more stories where one decision reshaped entire civilizations, tell us which era or figure we should explore next. Subscribe and join us as we uncover the moments that defined the course of history.